Daredevil Nik Wallenda holds an iron jawing record. His wife wants to break it at Niagara Falls. 6 years ago, world-famous Daredevil Nik Wallenda dangled from a trapeze attached to a helicopter hovering 250 feet above a Missouri theme park. He wowed onlookers with the precarious stunt by hanging from the trapeze with the grip of his toes. Then he resurrected one of his grandmother's old tricks, the iron jawing, by dangling this time from just his teeth. The stunt set an iron jawing Guinness World Record for height. At 8:30 a.m. Thursday, his aerialist wife will attempt to steal the title from above the raging waters of Niagara Falls. Niagara Wallenda will try to outdo her husband by hovering 300 feet above the falls high enough to avoid their mist and pesky wind currents, the couple said during a news conference Wednesday. She plans to perform an acrobatic routine from the hula hoop, then dangle from her toes and teeth, just like Nik did in 2011. The aerialist will wear a cable tether around her waist, in accordance with the New York state law that requires a safety support for aerial stunts above 20 feet, but it won't aid her performance. It's only there to catch her if she falls. It will all happen on the 5-year anniversary of one of Nik Wallenda's most impressive stunts, his televised tightrope walk across Niagara Falls. I remember watching Nicholas as he was crossing the falls and thinking, boy, I wonder what that would feel like, I wonder what that would look like. Never thinking that 5 years later I was going to get the same opportunity, Niagara said at the news conference. I just feel blessed. Husband and wife come from world-famous circus and Daredevil families. Nik Wallenda helped revive his family's 200-year-old legacy by performing death-defying stunts on live television, such as walking on a tightrope across Niagara Falls and the Grand Canyon. The signature stunt of the Flying Wallendas, as their troupe came to be known in the 1940s, was the 7-person chair pyramid, an act that went fatally wrong in 1962. The stunt involves 4 acrobats on the tightrope holding 2 more acrobats above them. A third performer, usually sitting on a chair and at his teammate's mercy, teeters at the top. During a performance at the Detroit State Fair, the Wallenda pyramid toppled, sending 2 troupe members to their deaths and leaving a third paralyzed. Other Wallendas, including Nik Wallenda's great-grandfather, have fallen to their deaths while performing. Niagara, a lifetime aerialist, is the product of 8 generations of circus on her mother's side and 7 generations on her father's side. Her mother's family runs the 3rd largest circus in Australia, and her father's family is part of a circus in Mexico City that now travels the U.S. It's hard to marry somebody who doesn't walk a wire, Nik Wallenda said Wednesday, who doesn't risk their life. Niagara's acrobatic act will be choreographed to music. She'll listen through headphones. Nik Wallenda said the goal is to get through the stunt without slipping, and emphasized that dangling from your teeth is extremely painful. It hurts really bad, he said. He first performed the iron jawing 5 years ago to pay homage to his grandmother and grandfather, both Wallenda family performers who used the stunt in a routine together. His grandfather would ride a bicycle on a tightrope while his grandmother dangled from her teeth below it. Back then, the only mechanism keeping her in the air was her tight bite on a folded leather belt. Now, with the help of modern technology, Nik and Niagara rely on the help of their dentist, a close family friend who built mouthguards molded to their bites. The couple has strong toothpaste and a very understanding dentist, Nik Wallenda said. Obviously, my dentist doesn't want me to do this for the rest of my life, Niagara added. The helicopter will take off at 8:30 a.m. from the roof of the Seneca Niagara Casino parking garage and return by 8:45 a.m. Throughout the entire stunt, Nik Wallenda will ride in the helicopter, watching her routine for hand and body signals they've come to recognize in each other during their 17 years of marriage. The two share 3 children, all of whom are adept in the air but have shown limited interest in carrying on the family business. It was as children watching their parents perform that Nik and Niagara met. He was 3 years old and she was 3 months. Their friendship evolved into romance as teenagers. When Niagara turned 18, they married. I really did marry my best friend, she said at the news conference. And not too many people can say they married someone with the same passions that they have. They spoke of their fascination with Niagara Falls and their long-held hope that one day, the family will find a way to build a permanent performance center on site. It's an incredible force of Mother Nature, Nik Wallenda said. I don't people realize the magnitude of Niagara Falls around the world. Niagara County and the city of Niagara Falls each set aside $35,000 to help fund the stunt, and the Seneca Gaming Corp., the event's lead sponsor, gave $50,000, reported the Buffalo News. The idea for Walenda's stunt came as the couple was brainstorming how to commemorate Wallenda's Niagara Falls tightrope walk in 2012. Remember that world record that you set years ago hanging by your teeth under a helicopter about 200 feet above the ground? Nik Wallenda recalled his wife saying at the time, "Well, why don't you allow me to do it 300 feet above the falls?" I was like, "Absolutely," Wallenda said. He responded, "That's amazing. That's awesome." But according to a quip he made during the news conference, the unabashed one-upper doesn't plan to let his wife keep the record for long. "In 5 more years," he joked, "I'm going to hang by one tooth, 800 feet above the falls." More from Morning Mix.